cuff. And by doing that, I'm gonna face my right sides together and just do a regular 1/2 inch seam allowance. You would then go to the iron, press it open, but I am not going to do that. It's too long to go over. But you should always press your seams open before you move on to the next phase. And now I'm going to attach the cuff. And the cuff is, or the bishop sleeve, we're going to need to add gathers to it so we can have it fit the finished cuff opening. So we're going to do our 2 rows of stitching, which we did a demonstration of that already. And my 2 rows of stitching are going to be within the seam allowance.
Pulling on one, right?
I'm pulling 2, both of the threads that I stitched, but just one side of it. Like I'm not pulling the other side. Now we are going to attach all of this onto our cuff. And I'm going to stitch on the wrong side facing first. So the wrong side together, same idea as the binding. I want to see the top stitch that I'm stitching, and I want it to be on the right side so that I can control how it looks like. So I'm going to do the wrong sides facing each other. Now the way that you pin your cuff, you have to remember which side is the front and which side is the back, because the back side is going to be where the overlay is, right? The what is it called, that extra 1/2 inch that we created. That is going to be, it's going to be on the side closest to the edge. The inseam. So that 1 inch, you should have a notch marking already. We're going to line it up right where that notch is, right off of the edge. That's going to be the side with the overlap. Pin that in place. And then we're going to go around to the other side. And it's going to line up on the edge of the seam allowance stitch, the seam allowance line, which is 1/2 inch. I don't have a marking there, but I know that it's 1/2 inch here.
From
the edge, because we're gonna stitch the cuff shut. So if you can imagine, it's gonna be sewn shut. So we're gonna line this edge on the stitch line of the seam allowance. But a cool trick that I learned to hide away the binding is to fold it in so that on the right side, the binding is kind of hidden underneath. Because this is going to be the side that is most visible.
Sorry, can you do that again, the folding?
So the binding is on the edge, but we're going to kind of trick it to appear like it's not a binding stitch. So we're just going to fold it in. I have an example of it. I think if you see it, you'll know what
You're just tucking it into this.
I'm tucking it in, but it's just to kind of hide it away. So this is the side with the extension, the 1/2 inch extension. This is the side that is the overlap, and I just kind of fold it in the binding so that when I overlap it at the end, it kind of cover itself. So that's just a little trick to kind of hide it. Otherwise, if you didn't do that, you'll see the actual binding. So I went and folded it in, and then
Towards the wrong side of the fabric.
hold on.
Yeah.
Nope, I did it wrong. it should be,
No, I think you did it right.
did I do it right?
Yeah, like,
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
mhm.
Sorry, I'm facing it like this. So the wrong side, it should be facing, yeah, on the wrong side. You're right. I was looking at it this way and I was like, but that's not right.
You have an inside and outside of sleeves. Can get very perplexing.
It's very, very confusing. And then we're just gonna pull on our basting stitch until we have our desired length. Now I'm just gonna stitch regularly, 1/2 inch seam allowance. I like to stitch with the gathering facing me so that I can kind of distribute the gathers as I see it. Like if there's an area that's very, very sparse, I could, you know, try to add more there. This is due next week, I believe. Or the following week, I think the 18th. Yeah. Yeah, Wednesday. I made the correction on the Canvas page already.
And that will be the bishop sleeve and
The straight step.
the. Okay.
Oh,
So there's that. There's how it looks like. It looks okay. Now I'm gonna finish the sides of the cuff. So fold the cuff. Long ways so that you can finish the side. This one is the one that's right on the edge. I'm just gonna stitch 1/2 inch seam allowance. And this other side. So that first fold that I did on the machine, I'm actually stitching that down too. And if I didn't stitch it down, you don't have to stitch it down, but stitching it down will kind of create this fold. When I fold it to the right side, it's already in place, so I don't have to worry about that. So this is just a little trick that I like to do.
can you see?
And now we're ready to fold our cuff right side out. Use a pen or something to push the points out.
Do we need to clip that corner or no?
You don't have to, because the point of this kind of
Oh, it
lands
goes in
nicely
with it.
here.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't find it necessary to clip this one.
Okay.
But if you do have multiple seams, like if this was a seam, then I would recommend you clip it.
I see. That
Yeah.
makes sense. It actually kind of gives it shape.
It helps hold the shape a little better too.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm gonna fold it to the right side. And the cuff is also on the right side. I can then top stitch this down. And I'm gonna top stitch it right on the edge. Try to hide away that first row of stitching that you did. When you stitch it, don't stitch the entire thing. I want you guys to leave like maybe like 2 inches right in the middle so that I can see that you guys did the basting stitch correctly, the interfacing correctly. So when you're stitching the cuff, just stitch half of it.
That's an edge stitch?
I'm gonna do an edge stitch to attach the cuff. can leave a gap.
So just a peek at this, you can see.
Yeah, just a little opening so that I could see that the inside is correct. And now I'm gonna finish the rest. You should have a little opening so that I can see that you guys did the inside correctly. Now the last thing we want to do is add an additional row of top stitching. And this is just to kind of help the cuff hold its shape, and like through wear and tear it won't like fold into itself or unfold. So we're gonna add an additional top stitching that's 1/4 of an inch away from the outer edge. Okay. Top stitch done. Cuff done. So when you lay it into place, it kind of covers that binding, and you don't see that top stitching. I mean the binding edge on the outside. Last thing for this guy is to mark your button and buttonhole. Your buttonhole is going to stay on the outside. As you can imagine, you put your button here, it's going to loop through the buttonhole. So mark your buttonhole, and then mark an X for another pen for where the button placement is. And you can reference your pattern. You can just put your pattern on top of it, poke a hole, and put it in the exact location. So that's that. That is the cuff. And this type of construction, the way that I did it this way is can be used for like waistband finish, like waistbands.
Mhm.
Also, if you're making a jacket that has a band at the bottom too, like usually like trucker jackets will have it with your. So you can do this type. The way that I sewed the cuff can be used to sew bands on the bottom of hems and for skirts. So
Waistbands too.
apply. So it can be applied to all areas, not just the cuffs.